and whatever, and I can show you what I did, and you can tell me,
Yeah.
whatever you're.
Okay, that sounds good. So, are you looking for help on the beat and the rap, or are you really looking for more like how to fit a rap over a beat you don't want to change, or both, kind of?
It's more like how to fit the rap. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Do you have it recorded, or you just want to do it live?
I would just probably do it live. I wish I had recordings, but I don't think that they'd really do it justice. So
okay. Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. Why don't you hook it up then? And yeah, I'll take a listen.
Okay. Let me know if you can hear it, though.
Yeah, I can hear that. Okay.
Okay, cool. What I'm talking about is not a very popular topic. Pop songs are more commonly about the car that you're driving, or the girl that you're loving, or the heart that got broken, or the one that slipped away, or the one that she's dropping. I guess we loving the drama. Having all things in common is not as much of a draw. No one's dropping their jaw about a friend you can call. Why put that in a song? Because if it's not about dollars, it ain't about nothing at all, huh? But to give when there's no money involved, that's a different kind of drama. Overlooking flaws, forgiving my wrongs. Friends who stick it out when it's hard. They're still giving deposits when all they get is withdrawals.
Okay, and does it speeds up then?
The beat, does the beat speed up?
Yeah, when you stop rapping.
No, it doesn't speed up. That's the chorus. It's just a pretty fast beat. I'll just play the beat to you.
Yeah. Do you mind doing the rap one more time?
Sure. And like how, as far as the just being able to hear it, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, I can hear it fine. I mean, obviously, it would be better if I had a recorded version, but like this is good enough.
Okay. Alright. What I'm talking about is not a very popular topic. Pop songs are more commonly about the car that you're driving, or the girl that you're loving, or the heart that got broken, or the one that slipped away, or the one that she's dropping. I guess we loving the drama. Having all things in common is not as much of a draw. No one's dropping the jaw about a friend you can call. Why put that in a song? Because if it's not about dollars, it ain't about nothing at all, huh? But to give when there's no money involved, that's a different kind of power. Overlooking flaws, forgiving my wrongs. Friends who stick it out when it's hard. They're still giving deposits when all they get is withdrawals.
Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, so, okay, because what I was wondering about, so then does the chorus come?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because,
Yeah, it's the chorus.
Okay, yeah, maybe if you send me the beat, that'll be good, because I'm still not quite exactly sure what I'm feeling when you stop rapping. Like, maybe it moves to double time or something like that. Or maybe the sample just becomes more up and down, rather than fluid. But yeah, so, so like you were saying, right, it's just an overall fast song in general, right? So I counted it out, and I was getting, like, BPM equals 112, And so it's like, I can tell that you have kind of what you want to do, or you know what to do. So what my job here is to bring that out, though, right? Because, I can really help you because you brought me a specific beat. Like, I can just say that's not like most rap beats, because most rap beats are either, they're kind of in the 90 to 100 range of BPM, and then that's straight, right? And that describes everything from G-Funk to boom bap to whatever you want. And so obviously all those genres, those subgenres of hip-hop like G-Funk and boom bap, they're all different from each other based on their samples, but in BPM, in terms of, tempo speed, that's what they work with. But then if it's trap, then you're more in double time, where BPM equals 70, really general 70 to 80. So obviously you're outside of that, right? So you're at like BPM 110. And the fastest I know, Macklemore, Can't Stop or Can't Hold Us, that's like BPM equals 140. And the Roots have a song, Boom, which is like 122. So I'm telling you this because I'm telling you this because the fact that your beat is so fast means that there are certain things you can't do in your rap, right? And so one of the most obvious things. What's that?
I just sent the beat, by the way. Just so
okay, great. Yeah. I'll put that on in a second, though. So one of the things you can't really do is you can't rhyme a whole lot. You can't have tons of rhymes on a fast beat, and that's kind of just a rule, right? Because rhymes create accents, You know, so if you notice, like, what are the most famous rhyming songs of all time? Lose Yourself by Eminem, right? That's a lot slower. And he chooses to make that kind of his magnum opus of rhyming because it's a slower beat. What's this one at?
It's everything you ever wanted.
Let me count this real quick. Yeah, so I'm getting like 87 now, right? And you can't have a lot of, because rhymes create accents. You know, they're like downbeats. It's never like you just glide past a rhyme. Your mind focuses on it because it stands out, because it is a rhyme. You know, so this is kind of the information I want you to think about when you go back and do some workshopping on this verse, right? Because it's like, you have to handle really rhymes carefully on a fast beat, because they're like you stomping. You know, it's like you're running, and then you have to wait and stomp, and that takes up more time. So what struck me is, first off, you know, do you have the lyrics written down? That'd be a little easier to work with.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one verse. There's a couple different ones written.
Okay.
But yeah. I can, have I written down? I mean, I have them written here, so I could, like, take a picture of it and send it to you, but I don't have it written down. Yeah. Do you want to do that? And while I'm doing that, I'll set up the next part, which is to talk about your opening line. Because I think the way you need to change your opening line is really kind of instructive for how I would change, not even change, but just shift the rest of your verse, right? Because it's like, you're really close to doing what you want to do, but if you make these really small changes, the verse will start to pop. You know, that's one of my giant guidelines in music, is like, it doesn't take much. I'm not asking you to rewrite it at this point. I'm asking you to sharpen up your bars, you know? So it's like, so I can't remember exactly what the first line is, but it's something on, the rhyme is topic with driving, right? Something like that. And so to get back to how carefully you have to handle rhymes on a faster beat, it's really good sentiment, and it's a well-structured line. The only problem is that topic and drive-in are a slanted rhyme. And so my problem isn't that that's not a tight line or a tight rhyme. It's that, again, slanted rhymes take up more attention of the listener. You know, it's like the listener, as soon as you drop that line, the listener pauses, even for like a fraction of a second, to figure out, wait, topic doesn't rhyme with driving? Oh, he pronounced it differently to make it work. So it's like, I'm telling you this because the whole beat is working towards like a high energy thing. So if you slow the listener down, then you've lost them, right? So that's why if you notice a lot of these club tracks, I mean, you can even look up Macklemore, Can't Hold Us, you know, all of his rhymes are super simple. So I'm not telling you to, shit, I don't have it, or no, it's with Ryan Lewis. So I'm not telling you to write like Macklemore, I'm just telling you to try and learn from what he's doing. So this is his really fast song.
Rocking Cosby's for the game, but no, y'all can't copy that. Glad moonwalking in this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, I'm not out.
You hear that?
Yeah.
So
I hear what he's saying.
Yeah, so he's doing simpler stuff like Down with Town, and even at that level, it's a little different because he's rapping in eighth notes, and because he's up at 140, you know, so it sounds much quicker. But even that, it's like you gotta lighten, and you know, I'm totally down for you to do that stuff later on in the verse or later on in the song.
Right.
But what I was just telling someone else the other day is like, look, man, in your first 10 seconds of a song, you have a completely blank fucking canvas. You can do whatever the fucking you want, you know. If you're John Cage and you want to just record the sounds of a music hall or a pianist not doing anything at a piano, like, you can do that. But after those 10 seconds define what happens next. So then real quickly, it becomes like you're forced into going right, left, or straight. You know, you don't have many options after that. And just with the beat you brought me, this is kind of what I'm hearing. So if I were to give, you know, more, like, real specific things, it would be like, make your first 4 bars super tight in terms of rhymes. And I don't really mean simple, but I mean like end of the sentence, at the end of the bar, end of the bar, one or two syllables, not slanted. Because, yeah, and then that will ground the listener. Because those are your first 10 seconds, right? Like, you gotta give the listener an anchor to hold on to. And then after that, you can do whatever the fuck you want, more or less, in terms of slanted rhymes. But it's like, these kind of, I think of them as club tracks. I'm not saying they're gonna be played at a club or whatever. But that's kind of, just because the beat is so fast, you need to keep up with the listener's attention. Because the listener's paying attention to the beat. So you kind of got to be like, yes, that was a rhyme. Yes, that was a rhyme. Yes, that was a rhyme. But you can't really, like, make them think about it, you know? So even other stuff, when rappers don't do this, they're still super tight and controlled. So that's why I don't want you to think I want you to write rap like everyone else. Because most stuff has this one song. It's with Cassidy. Swiss Beats made the beat, maybe. But this is Monster Music. So I'm gonna skip forward to his verse. Black, simple and spare, I'm gifted, I'm rare, I'm Brooklyn, put a fist in the air, pretty Flacco. Black Dawn say the nigga is here, steady rock for any nigga that's here, and any nigga that's not. For them niggas locked two in the box, and all my niggas in the funeral plot. Black people, most of Swiss at the top of your dial. I spit this to make them swallow they style. From the hungriest growl to the quietest moan, to the gun that made the king come out of his throne. You are now in the zone with the livest, wild and best style shit. It's real in every sense. Extinction level event. We push the levels to 10 and push the levels again for riders with the heaviest tent. Right? So even here, you know, he's got long. Yeah, exactly.
What's the name of that song?
Yeah, Monster Music.
Monster.
So even here, you know, he's got long multi-syllables, right? But they're all still not slanted rhymes, and they're all still mostly at the end of his sentences, and they're all still mostly at the end of the bar. So even, and this is funny because most stuff doesn't really make club music, you know, he doesn't make bangers. But you can still see how he kind of transferred his really technical rap to fit in a club scene. Because once again, he doesn't want to burden the listener. Because he knows the listener is just trying to dance or whatever, or talk to people or stuff like that. And he knows he's got a dope beat behind him with more bass to it than the tracks he had on like the big Black Star album from 1999 or 2001. I get it mixed up with Quality. But yeah, so this is the same kind of thing, right? So I'm not telling you to write rap like other people. I'm just telling you to make this one digestible. And also, because I think that'll even make your bars, your message hit harder, right? Because your message, what is it? Yeah, when topics are more normally about the car that you're driving. I think it'll be kind of cool and kind of ironic to be like, I'm making fun of this sort of simple style, but I'm rapping in this simple style. But what that does is it sets you up to be more complex later. Because the best way to critique something, to criticize something, is to do it. You know, it's to be like, yeah, I can do this, but I'm not doing it by choice because I think it's lame. And I think that would kind of be a cool direction to go. To give this simpler one. And then, yeah, you know, second verse, you really want to open it up. Because this beat you brought me, it's kind of what I think of as in like the Chitty Bang vein. You know, do you know those guys at all? They did Kids.
Yeah,
MGMT,
they're
right?
From where I'm from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, they're from Drexel, because I live in Philly too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you from here?
Well, yeah, I'm from Philly, and the producer for Chitty Bang, I met him at like a party or something.
Really, Zaphoon?
Yeah.
Yo, that motherfucker's.
I don't even know his name.
Yeah, yo, his ear for a sample. It's just funny because I think Kanye has the best ear for a sample, but that's for soul samples. But Zaphoon, all of his stuff with like the Ellie Goulding pulls and stuff like that. Yeah. So what Chitty Bang is, Chitty Bang had it down to like a formula, right? It was like 2.5 minutes, 2 verses, a killer chorus, and an amazing beat. You know, and it was just like they did it this way because they wanted you to want more. They didn't give you like the 4 or 5 minute opus of like Kanye West Runaway, All My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy or anything, because they know you're gonna press play again on a track like this. Like the beat you gave me is kind of like single. It's like a single, right? And so singles you want replayability. So if you make the music fit the format in which people will consume it, to make it like, you know, your top SoundCloud track, the one that's pinned to the top or whatever, then people will press play again, and that's all you want. You know, if you think of becoming popular in really straightforward terms, like, yeah, you want fans, but all you really want someone to do is press play again, because if they hear your song enough times, you're good enough that they will like it eventually, and that's what exposure theory is, right? You know, it's why, like, people go to fucking McDonald's. Like, yeah, McDonald's serves food, but they've also seen the ad a million times. Anyway, so what I imagine for your verse is something really tight like that. A tight song structure like that. Like even what? The Beatles, you know, the Beatles, what? Help? Or something? It's like 1.5 minutes long, man. And they did that so you would press play again. So your track, I'm thinking like, I mean, it kind of seems like you got more to say than 2 verses. So you could, I'm even looking for like short instrumental intro of like 4 bars. And then like verse 1 equals 8 bars. Chorus, 8 bars, however long you have. Verse 2 equals 8 bars. Chorus, 8 bars. Outro, 4 bars. You know, and that's actually, that might be too short. So if you want to do like verse equals 12, I'd have to look at your loop to see if that's possible. But yeah, I mean, just like you're in, you're out, and it's like this is, if this were a meal, this would be like something super tasty, but that you're eating on the go. You know, it's just like, damn, I love this track. It wants me to hear more. And then we go and we hear your more complicated collective raps. Or like your 4 and 5 minute raps, you know. So, yeah, because, I mean, other than that, the flow was nice. Your delivery I would make tighter. But you were doing this live, so it's a little tougher when you can't hear yourself. And also, also with your rhymes, it's like on an up and down beat like this, you know, like we're just going bun ten, bun ten, bun ten, bun ten. You know, it's not something like bun ten, bun ten, bun, or no, sorry, bun ten, bun ten, bun ten, bun ten, bun ten, bun. You know, you're pounding. On something like that, you want your rhymes to pound as well. Because again, this drives the music forward. So the first time you performed it with me, you did Withdrawal on the word withdrawal on the offbeat of the 4th beat of your last bar. So you went like something like withdrawal or like withdrawal. And the second time you did it though, you were more like withdrawal. And I would like you to do something more like the second time, right? Because this is not the time to put your rhymes in all the nooks and crannies of the beat. You know, that's something like high tech. So a high tech beat. I mean, so I'll ask you if you have any questions in a second. But like to explain to you the difference, this is Redefinition by Black Star.
Yeah, I know this. I read the thing that you wrote about this.
Okay, did you? Yeah. So the part I'm talking about is like when he. Right here. Right there, he's all over. He's in the nooks and crannies. He's going, we die hard like the battery thrown in the back of me by the madam who thinks imitation the highest form of flattery. Actually, don't be mad at me. You know, and that's not the kind of beat you got though. Because High Tech put in these weird little, if you can hear the guitar strums, they're all over. You know, his beat is going like, dun dun. Dun 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 dun. You know, he's like all over. But your beat is more kind of just like bun ten bun. And so to give you more of an idea of what I'm thinking about is what's the fucking Lose Control. This one. Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control. You know, so this is her rhymes. They're not on the offbeat of the 4th beat. because that's an uncommon place to put it, right? Because then all of a sudden you're not going bun, ten, you're going bun, ten, bun, ten, bun, ten, bun, ten, and that's just more space that is being occupied. There's not a whole lot of space there for you to put your raps, you know? So Missy's rhymes are like, I got a cute face, chubby waist, thick legs, in shape, rump shaking both ways, make you do a double take. They're all on the beat. And so that is more, it makes it stomp, you know, and it'll be, again, it's all about what you do at the beginning, because then if you establish that you know what you're doing to the listener, then the listener will give you more leeway when you start to play with these expectations, you know? So you can make your first verse, and let's say you added a third verse, you can make those super straightforward in terms of rhymes, and then make your second one play with all these things you want to do. It's just like right now, you kind of haven't given us that look that lets us know, like, yeah, he knows what this beat means for his flow, you know?
So, like,
yeah.
So with that verse, it's pretty much the same rhythm the whole way through, but what you're saying is that because of how straightforward the beat is, the rhythm's a little bit too complicated to just start out like that and go the whole way. It'd be better to do something simple in the beginning and then maybe get to the more complicated stuff later, but stay within the beat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I really like the flow you start off with. You know, it's more about your rhymes, like the rhythm of your rhymes, not necessarily the rhythms themselves. Because,
okay.
Yeah, it's more about what you're doing with the rhymes. And what I'm trying to tell you is to make the rhymes smaller. I think of making your rhymes smaller, not shorter, but just more in the pocket, you know, like what a good drummer does, right? He's not all over the place. He's not using every fucking piece of his 40-piece drum set every minute, right? Because it's not about the drummer, dog. It's about the beat, you know? So it's like, it's not about your rhymes on this song. It's about the beat. So, and there were some other things, you know, because in your pauses, basically, you start off really well, like your first 4 bars or so. And then what I would like to see you do, what I kept waiting for you to do, was fill in those pauses you take. You know, because you start off really nicely. If you saw my aspiring guide rap analysis, if you saw my article, yeah, exactly. If you saw this kind of summary of my article I did, where I kind of give some pointers to musicians on how to read my articles and not just fans of rap, your pacing is really good. You know, you don't blow us away with crazy rhythms right off the bat at the start of it, but we do kind of need a little more like chocolate to go with the vanilla afterwards, you know.
Okay.
And so I would fill it in. So do you mind doing it one more time for me, and I'll like help you do this right now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and that'll help us see more what you're talking about, what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm just gonna
yeah.
plug my computer in. Alright. Hopefully you can hear this, alright.
Yeah, that's good.
What I'm talking about's not a very popular topic. Pop songs are more commonly about the car that you're driving, or the girl that you're loving, or the heart that got broken, or the one that slipped away, or the one that she's dropping. I guess we're loving the drama. Having all things in common is not as much of a draw. No one's dropping the jaw about a friend you can call. Why put that in a song? Cause if it's not about dollars, it ain't about nothing at all, huh? But to give when there's no money involved, that's a different kind of power. Overlooking flaws, forgiving my wrongs. Friends will stick it out when it's hard. They're still giving deposits when all they get is withdrawals. Okay,
nice. Okay, yeah, so right around the line where you said the word common, that's where I start expecting you to take off, you know, because you come off with this really nice, if I were to analyze it, your sentences are kind of like 1/2 of a bar plus 1/2 of a bar and then 1 bar. Like, that's a breakdown of how long your sentences last, right? Because I hear it like, and then after that, you know, that's where you want to take out the pauses. In bar 5, take out pauses. Because right now, it's like you're in a car, and it's like, in bar 5, like we're in gridlock. You know, like your pauses are like starting to sound like you're slamming on the brake. I'm kind of like, well, why is he not just letting go now? Why is he not just letting loose, you know? So this is, if I could like scat for you and improv something, this is how I would do the whole start of the verse, going from the very beginning. Something like and then you see, you know, I put the pauses.
Starting with the 5th bar, you would start.
Exactly, yeah. So to be clear, the first 4 bars of what I just did are basically what you have, which I really like. And then after that, if you notice, I moved the pauses to somewhere else, right? Because we started out like this, the same thing you have, but then after that, more of what I did was like 1 bar, and then maybe something, and then I did another half, and then another half, and then 1 half plus 1 half, and then 1 bar. Because sentences in rap play the same role that articulation does in actual instruments, you know. So like you got a guitarist in your collective, or a pianist, a keyboardist?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, what instruments do you have in your collective? Do you have like a piano player?
Yeah, guitar and piano is mainly.
Okay, yeah.
I play guitar.
Yeah, so an important thing that I don't think a lot of rappers understand is that your sentences play the same role as articulation does for instrumentalists. So let's go instrumentalists like piano players, you know. So if you notice, your piano player, sometimes he can play the same note in many different ways, right? He can play the same note and hold it for a long time and make it blend into the next one, like da 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 da, and that's called legato. But or he can play it really sharp, right? He can play it like da 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 da, and that's called staccato. And so, because instruments have pitch, have scales, they use articulation to group their music into ideas. So if a piano player were to play something like da 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 da, we would know that that is one idea of the structure because he stopped. But you don't have pitch in your voice when you're rapping, right? So instead, what good rappers use is the start and ending of their sentences, right? That is how you create your structure. So I can show you an example of this, but this is the reason why I want you to change the position of your pauses in bar 5, and why I did it when I improv. So before I show you an example, do you have any questions? Because I want to make sure you get this.
No, I think that it's pretty clear.
Okay, yeah. So a good example is like Backseat Freestyle. I think. No, it's Mad City. Yeah. And while we listen, I'm gonna analyze it for you in the thread comment to the right.
This is Backstreet Freestyle?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, this is Mad City. The name of the song is Mad City, and it's from the same album. Yeah, it's from the same album. All right, let's do it.
Every time I'm in the street, I hear yak, 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 yak. Man down, where you from, nigga? Fuck who you know, where you from, my nigga? Where your grandma stay, my nigga? This man city, I run, my nigga. Brace yourself, I take you on a trip down memory lane. This is not a rapper, I'm slinging crack or moon cocaine. This is cold as second, plenty cognac and major pain. Not the drill sergeant, but the stress that weighing on your brain. It was BL Boogie, yeah, YG Lucky. Ride down Rosecrans, it got ugly. Waving your hand out the window, check yourself. Warriors and cold dance, hope euphoria can still dance for society. The driver's seat, the first one to get killed. Seen a light-skinned nigga with his brains blown out. At the same place, there with hang out. Now this is not a tape recorder saying that he did it, but ever since that day, I was looking at him different. That was back when I was 9, Joey back to 9, back to stand on every punch is fine. We adapt to crime, back a van with 4 guns at a time, with the sliding door. Fuck it's up, fuck you shooting for if you ain't walking up, you fucking punk. Picking up the fucking pump, picking up you sucker, dick or die, a sucker punch. A wall of bullets coming from AKs, ARs, AR, duck. That's what mama said when we was eating that free lunch. Oh man, goddamn, all hell broke loose. You killed my cousin back in 94. Fuck your truce. Now curl your head in that noose. You wind up dead on the news. Ain't no peace treaty, just peace and PGs up to pre-approved. Bodies on top of bodies.
Okay, so this is the really interesting thing about that verse. Is the rhythms, the word-to-word rhythms are really simple. It's just and anyone will get really bored by that. So, but what Eminem or Kendrick does is the sentence-to-sentence rhythms are what's important here, and that's what I'm talking about in your beat. And that's the analysis I just sent you on the right? So he starts out like this. Brace yourself, I'll take you, where's he start on the beat? Okay, so he starts right on the downbeat. So it's like this, right? Brace yourself, I'll take you on a trip down memory lane. I snapped 4 times, so it lasts 4 beats, right? 1, lane. This is not a rap on how I'm slinging crack or move cocaine. 4 beats again, right? This is cul-de-sac and plenty cognac and major pain. 4 beats again, right? Not the drill sergeant, but the stress that weigh in on your brain. So Kendrick could have just kept going like, after that line, going like, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. But that becomes super boring because we've already heard it 7 times, you know?
Right.
So he does exactly what I'm telling you. He sets himself up in the first 4 bars so then he can depart from it later, right? Because what's the really shocking, rhythmically shocking, musically shocking sentence, but how long this one lasts? It was me, it was me, El Boog, and Yayo, Yaji Lucky, ride down Rosecrans, it got ugly, waving your hand out the window, check yourself, Because then he's not doing da 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 da. He's doing da 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 da. You know, and then he follows it up with Warriors and Conan, hope Euphoria can slow dance with society, the driver's seat, the first one to get killed. So then he does another 2, right? So he is varying the sentence, how long his sentences last, and and that is what I want you to do, because it's more interesting, you know? So, and that is why it's like, you know, Kendrick knew that bar 5, actually, yeah, it's the same exact place as I'm telling you. Bar 5 is the place to let loose. Bar 5 is to be like, okay, we just met, we shook hands, we exchanged names, and now I'm gonna fucking party, you know? And so that is what you want to do. You see what I'm going for? You got any questions?
Yeah, I do. You listen to Homeboy Sandman?
Yeah, I've heard him a good amount. Yeah, do you have a song in mind?
Like for instance, what's it called? Dirty Angels, I think. Angels with Dirt Faces. I'm kind of curious if you think he does it too much, or if you think there's something about that beat that makes it appropriate.
Okay, yeah. Let me look it up now. Angels with Dirt Faces?
Angels with Dirty Faces.
Okay, yeah, because I know, Homeboy, yeah. I know he, yeah, I know in general he's more of a technical rapper, and I've looked at his other stuff, and it's really complex, because he ends his sentences everywhere. But let me check out this one.
Talking to my boy the other. I ain't a bad guy, keeping my cash for the bad poverty pass by. Look right in my staring eyes, that's when I spend down. Next man with the spare heads, why should I spare mine? Call it New York State of mind, please bear in mind. I know he ain't a bind, but he gon' go buy beer and wine. Work my 9 to 5, trying to provide for me and mine. Not to sponsor every slime to survive Vietnam. Cautious that is noble cause, this might be a con. The way to find a kid.
Yeah, so I don't
You're right, there are some variations though.
Yeah, So are you asking me if I think he keeps the same sentence structure too much?
Basically.
Okay, yeah. Let me start from the beginning
Never
then.
tried that. I ain't a bad guy for keeping my cash for the bad poverty pass by. Look right in my stand eyes, that's what I spend on. Next man wouldn't spare his, why should I spare mine? Call it New York State of mind, please bear in mind. I know he in a bind, but he gon' go buy beer and wine. Work my 9 to 5, trying to provide for me and mine. Not to sponsor every slime to survive Vietnam. Cautious that is noble cause, this might be a con. The way to find it, fear fraud, so don't mind me if I'm more the kind of guy inclined, I'll kindly decline. Besides the fact that
Does he change it at all?
Not really. It's the same flow on both verses too.
Oh, really? Damn.
Because I guess the question is like, at what point does it become hot that it's the exact same thing the whole time?
Yeah.
And maybe it's just a song by song kind of basis. Like,
Yeah, I
depending
mean,
on the beat.
you know. Okay. Here's the thing. I like it, and I'm not exactly sure yet why I like it. So the thing, though, is kind of like, well, first off, let's acknowledge the obvious. His beat is much different from yours, right?
Yeah,
Like, his
right.
snare is on, what, the 2 in front of the 3 and then off the 4, right? Because he's kind of going like, boom, 10, 10, 10, boom, 10, 10, 10, boom, 10, right? And so he has more space because it's a beat that is giving him more space. And then the thing with his rhymes, because what he is making more hay out of, what he's making more money off of, you might say, is how he's moving from one rhyme scheme to the next, right? So it's like, he's like, you know how in science experiments, they keep everything the same except one variable so they can study that one variable, you know? That's what he's done. He's kept his rhythms the same, so then you pay attention to his rhymes. Because kicking off, what I noticed,
Right.
I'll break it down for you real quick.
he ain't never tried that. I ain't a bad guy for keeping my cash for the bad poverty pass by. Look right in my stand eyes, that's what I spend on. Next man wouldn't spare his, why should I spare mine?
Yeah, so what he started off is, he started off with the same, and I have to look up the lyrics to make sure I get it right. But what is it? Homeboy, Angels with Dirty Faces. Let me look up the...
Yeah, Rap Genius gets a lot of those lyrics wrong, but
Okay.
close enough.
Yeah, because it's more about, what's his fucking name? Homeboy Sandman. No, dog. Please just search for the... Yeah. We don't have nothing left, but he ain't never tried that. Interesting. Okay. Called Bad Vibe. Okay. Looking right in my staring eyes and ask how to spare a dime. Next man wouldn't spare his. Why should I spare mine? Yeah, so... What's interesting here is what I call, you know... How you move from one rhyme scheme to the next is something I call kind of like rhyme chaining. It's your system, right? So what's interesting here is his system is kind of like A, B, C, B, D, C. And so what you get is like this nested effect, right? And so the opening lines, like the rhymes are bad guy, bad vibe, and pass by, right? Bad guy, bad vibe, pass by. But then what he and asked spare a dime. But then he slipped in spare his, right? So his doesn't rhyme with guy, vibe, buy, or dime, right? So it's part of the next rhyme scheme. And then he goes back to his old rhyme scheme on spare mine. Because mine does rhyme with dime, buy, vibe, and guy, right? But then his... New York State of Mind, please bear in mind. I know he in a bind, but he gone go by one. I work my 9 to 5, trying to provide for me and mine. Yeah. So okay. So the interesting thing about his is that it's not a rhyme, right? So this is what I mean when I talk about the rhythms of the rhyme. Is like you heard like the rhythm was this, right? It was rhyme, 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 not a rhyme, rhyme. So then what I hear is like this. That's the rhythm. Because this is what I'm talking about. Rhythm, the rhymes stand out. You know, the rhymes are like a snare. It's like a louder snare. And so what I like... God, does he really rhyme like that the whole fucking time?
What?
Yeah. And so he's doing some other stuff, you know? Because while his final beat is always kind of like a 2/8 note, it's always kind of... dun-da. In front of that dun-da... there's like a whole bunch of like around the beat shit, you know. So he's not doing what Kendrick does, where it's like da 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 da. He's kind of doing like da 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 da. So it's like the end of all of his sentences are the same, but in front of that, he's finding all these weird little nooks and crannies. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And so it's like, it's on a song-by-song basis, but you have to judge it. You can judge it on objective criteria on a song-to-song basis. It's like you just have to think about everything that he's doing. You have to see the rap in its context. So it's like, what is the backbeat? What kind of release was it? Was it a single? Was it a B-side? Is it a cover? Is it a diss track? Is it an homage to another song? So it's like all of these things go into the formula of determining whether it works or not. But then, the rest of learning to be a good rapper is just knowing every one of these kind of different departure points. So like, cause I know other shit like that, fresh like, no, that changes, but, The Way I Am, by Eminem, you know that one?
Yeah, and I read your,
yeah, exactly, I mean, dude, that's just fucking 216 times, that rhythm is in there, da-da-da, 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 so it's like, by almost any criteria of what I've said this lesson, that song should suck. But it doesn't suck, because it's fucking Eminem, and Eminem is giving you the middle finger musically, really. He's kind of just like, you know what, if you're not gonna call my shit music, I'm gonna give you the most boring-ass music, and it will still go fucking multi-quadruple platinum, or whatever. And, like, so that's why it works, because Eminem is, like, ironically using rhythms to kind of mock his critics. Or even if you don't want to go that way, you could call it an instance of constrained writing, because that's what Olivier Messiaen was into, too, on Quartet, not on Quartet for the End of Time, but, like, really mathematical stuff. Because it's like, if you give the idea is that if you can make good music even while you're under a million different constraints, then that makes you look like an even better composer because you did it harder. And then, degree of difficulty is another way of judging all these different things. So it's like a whole bunch of shit goes into the formula for determining whether or not rap rhythms work. And it's like, it comes down to knowing all of them, I guess. But yeah, that Homeboy Sandman one is trippy. But yeah, I mean, he knows what I'm talking about, even if he might not be able to, like, come up to you and tell you and be like, yeah, man, so I was thinking about the fucking bar structure of my sentences, but, like, he knows it. He knows it, even if it's more, like, unconscious. And even for him, it's like, I'm gonna judge Homeboy Sandman's raps differently than I judge, who would you say, fucking, like, Drake's raps, right? Because Homeboy, I mean, bro, they're talking to different people. Homeboy Sandman is literally writing for a different audience to the point that they might as well speak a different language from people who like Drake. I don't know if people who like Homeboy Sandman and people who like Drake hang out anymore. It's like Democrats and Republicans or what you want to say. So it's like then you realize that like Homeboy Sandman, well, he's not necessarily just trying to dominate the billboards. So then you do have to judge it on different kind of stuff. Yeah. So did you have any other good questions like that you want me to get to?
No, not that I can think of. I mean, like, I guess the only other one I had thought of before we started the lesson would be, like, specific people that you think it would be good for me to check out.
Okay, well, is most of your music like what you just played me, like your rap music, or no?
What do you mean, like what I just played you, as far as, like, rhythmic?
Yeah, the
stuff?
beat.
Like, is it?
I just mean the beats. Like, are most of the beats you flow over like what you just played me?
No. There's a lot of different kind of beats that I'll rap to.
Okay.
But I guess just because here's the thing that makes me not. All right, like when you talk about cutting a sentence, like the sentence structure is to rap what accentuations.
Yeah.
I forget the word you used.
Articulation.
Articulations, yeah, for instrumentalists. And my question is, like, do you literally mean? I mean, it seems obvious, but do you literally mean like where the period would go? Like if someone were writing it out?
Yeah, dog. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not getting too philosophical on you. You know,
Okay.
like where the sentence ends. Exactly where
Right.
you would put the period. It's like I got a subject, I got a verb, and we're done. You know,
Okay.
it's like that moment. And I can even play you. Oh, you want some? I don't. I would have to draw it though. It's really fucking trippy, dog. And this would kind of be good for you to just think about over the next week. I'll play you another Kendrick one, and I'll show you just how kind of rich this idea is. You know, how productive it is, how much you can do with it. And it comes from a Kendrick song of that he did with Dr. Dre on the new Compton album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called Dark Side Gone. Maybe you know this one?
No.
Okay, yeah, so let me jump forward a little
Some
bit.
of the hottest cars that late. I thought that was the. You could get the middle finger or the reddest pin. It's your choice. I took this industry by storm. Young and black, killing them softly. Don't ever call me fortunate. You don't know what it cost me. So anybody complaining about their circumstances lost me, homie. We ain't even talking. Fuck that energy. Fuck up off me. It's easy to say you need me. We got everything you want. But it's hard for me to believe it.
Alright, listen to this.
You'll find out when I'm gone. You look at my lifestyle. I'm living my life now. I'm dealing with diligent Benjamin. How can my attitude pipe down? I'm fucking with ice now. I'm fucking with shit that you only can get on an overseas flight now. You scared of my heights now. But still I got enemies giving me energy. I don't wanna fight now. Subliminal sending me all of this hate. I thought I was holding the mic down. I thought I was holding my city up. I thought I was good in the media. You think I'm too good in my video? But really no clue, you idiot. I just can't help myself. Even when that record spin, every now and then you hang yourself. Cause I got the green and gold with a million souls. Plus plenty more. I'm trying to figure with or without the diamonds though. I'm just another nigga.
Alright, so what he's done the same thing here in manipulating the length of his sentences, but he's done it in a much more complex way. And so this is bar 1, bar 3, bar 5, bar 7, bar 9, bar 11. So we're going to listen to it again, right? And I'm going to walk you through what I have written down. And I'm going to count the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Alright, so that is what I'm talking about. He opens really well, right? And now let's just break it down. Dark Side Gone, Dr. Dre, and I want you to try now and answer the question of how long these sentences are lasting in terms of beats. And because this will really drive home how much it is, right? And I can rap it for you, so we do a little. You look at my lifestyle. I'm living my life now. All right. So here's the sentences if you wanna look it up. And so just tell me how long this sentence, how many times I snap, because that's how many beats his sentence takes up, right? Okay, it's this one. You look at my lifestyle. How many was that?
How many beats was
You
that?
look at my lifestyle. How many times I snap? Yeah, because that's how many times the beats are. You look at my lifestyle.
1, yeah.
2. Sorry, it's not. It might not be loud enough. You look at my lifestyle. Can you hear that?
Well, it's kind of like halfway into the first beat
Yeah.
and then halfway out of the
Yeah, and that's why I said don't count the beats, but count my snaps, because it's like
okay.
I'm like fitting it into the structure, right? So just 1. You look at my lifestyle. 1, 2.
Oh, yeah, 2.
Yeah, right? Yeah, again, yeah, I'm not. I kind of simplified things so it'll be easier for us to get.
Right.
But it's still the same effect. So yeah,
Yeah,
1, 2. How about this one? I'm living my life now.
Yeah, 2.
Exactly.
Same.
But how about this one? I'm dealing with diligent Benjamin. How come my attitude pipe down?
4.
Yes, exactly. So he went 2, 2, 4. But now, what is this clever motherfucker gonna do? I'm fucking with ice now. How many was that?
That was the same 2.
Exactly.
That's 2.
But how? Okay. And so, if he wasn't a good rapper, he would just do what he did last time, which was go 2-2-4, right? But this is what he does. He goes, I'm fucking with shit that you only get on an overseas flight now. So how many was that?
Wasn't that 4 again?
Yes, that was 4. And so now we're at 2 and 4, right? And we have to decide what the last one is. And this is, you scared of my heights now.
Yeah, 2.
2, right? Alright. And so that would be pretty good, right? If he opened it like this. But what does this clever motherfucker do next? So even let's say a pretty good rapper would then go 2-4-2 again in terms of how long his sentences last. But this is what Kendrick does. But still I got but still I got enemies giving me energy. Don't want to fight now. So what was that?
That was 4 again?
Yeah, 4. And then what he's do? Subliminally sent me all of this hate, which is 2. I thought I was holding the mic down, which is 2. So now he's gone 4-2-2. And then, if he was not one of the greatest rappers of all time, let's say he would do 4-2-2 again. But he is one of the greatest rappers of all time, and he knows that you expect him to do 4-2-2 again. So that's not what he does. What he does is, I thought I was holding the mic down. 2. I thought I was holding my city up. 2. I thought I was good in the media. 2. You think I'm too hood in my video? 2. So then he does 2-2-2, right? And so this is why this verse is so fucking genius. Because he's migrating all over the place how long his sentences last, right? And like, this is just artistic beauty. This is just like fucking the Madonna with the Mona Lisa with the Sistine Chapel. You know, this is just like, it's what you want your rap to be, right? And then even, what does he do next? Does he do 2-2-2-2 again? No, because that'll be fucking stupid. What he does then is he opens it up and he makes it, all of them last 4. I just can't help myself. Oh, wait, sorry. Even when that record spin, every now and then you hang yourself. 4. So now he's doing 4s, right? He moves to 4s. Now he ends it by going 4-4, I think just 2 4s, right? Yeah, so now let's listen to the verse again and pay attention to how long his sentences are lasting in terms of their beat. So I'm going to count how long each sentence lasts, too, so you can hear it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, amazing, great. He fucked it. He fucked that song to death, man. It was, yeah. I'm sorry. It's just so good, dude. This is like, isn't it amazing, bro? It's just like you look at it on the page and I can't believe what I'm seeing, bro. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to crush that. This is what the verse looks like, right? If you draw it. If you can you I don't know, can you see that at all? Is it not?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So you see I've written 2 bars across the top. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then down here I've written what bar number we're on. So you can see that this square takes up 2 beats, this square takes up 2 beats, and this square takes up 4 beats. So the squares represent how long the sentences last. And I visualized it because then you can see really nicely how proportional everything is, right? You see 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2. You know, and that's like the fucking David, the statue, you know, perfect proportion of the arm to the length of the leg or whatever.
I want to take like a screenshot.
Yeah, do you want to? I was going to suggest that if you could.
Let me figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
How do you take screenshot? I always forget, and I have to look.
Yeah, I think it's Command Shift 3.
Oh, 3. Okay, I was doing 4.
Yeah, 4 is when you want to pick a specific spot of the screen, I think.
Command Shift 3. No, that's not working. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Let's see.
Oh, that's what it is on mine.
No, Shift Command 4. Yeah, that should
Oh,
work.
is it 4? Oh, my bad.
No, that's fine. Shift Command. All right, cool. Get that. Wow.
Got it?
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about, you know. And I don't want you to do that on this song because your beat's a little different. You know, you don't have as much space. But yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about, man. It's like knowing what you're working with is like 95% of being a good rapper. You know, because it's like a lot of people think when you show up to write a song, like, oh, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. And like, yeah, in the first 5 seconds, that might be true. But after that, you have set yourself boundaries and rules you gotta follow. So a lot of it is just figuring out what you are trying to do. It's not like you're waiting for inspiration from a muse or like God to come down and be like, this is your next rhyme. It's like what you want to do, you know? So yeah, I think that's a really good place for you to start because I want you to start taking off with the length of your sentences around bar 5. And then yeah, just keep it really fucking tight. And I sent you a list of rappers that I give to people to learn from. It's kind of my rap. Yeah, exactly. It's a rap repertoire, you know, of great songs. So yeah, man. Yeah, this was a really good lesson though. Yeah. So hit me up again if you got any more questions, okay?
Definitely, and I'm gonna try to support when I can.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because you know with the type of lifestyle we're living, if it's gonna be regular, but I'm gonna try to do it when I can.
Yeah. I really appreciate that, man. And you know, like I'm not tripping, dog. Right now I'm at $140 per post, and so that money, I was thinking like each one of those dollars is worth like $5 to me, you know, because I'm doing what I love, right? So yeah, just whatever help you can, and I love talking about rap anyway. So yeah, man, yeah, just thank you so much for the help you already given. And good luck in your on your tour. All right.
Thanks, bro. And I'm not used to Skype. Am I gonna be able to pull this chat up anytime I want?
Not unless you've been recording it, but I actually have been recording it, so I can put it on YouTube and give it to you if you want. That cool?
Only thing is, I don't want that song out, because Delon, the producer, he doesn't want people to hear it until it's done.
Okay, yeah. So, can I put it on Google Drive then, and maybe you can download it? It'll be it'll be a big file, like over a gigabyte. But I mean, it's better than you. Or you know what? I can make it private, so no one else but you can see it.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
all
yeah.
Right, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. And yeah, good luck with your car, bro.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah. Peace, dog.
Later.
I'll check you later. Good luck with the song.